Hi knitters, welcome to PJ Knits. My name's Penny. I live in Central Illinois and I'm a knitter, a blogger, and a YouTube podcaster. And I just want to say welcome to the new subscribers and welcome back to all of those who have been here before. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's say it is Wednesday, October 9th in Central Illinois, and we are having some beautiful weather here. Sunshiny, it's cool, a little cool in the morning, and goes up to like the 70s in the afternoon, and we haven't had any rain for a while. It's very, very sunny and very nice. It's a great time to go out and sit and knit on the porch, which is what I'm going to do after I get done with this video. Going forward, next we're going to have 70 degrees the rest of this week, but next week I looked at the long-term forecast and it's going to be like, 60s-ish, so definitely we're going to have a little bit of a cool week, but in Central Illinois it can always turn a little warm as we head in and out of October. So I don't think that we're totally out of the woods, but I'm not anxious to turn on the heat by any means, and so I have a little space heater that I use upstairs in my what I call the Zoom knitting Snoopy room, and I'll shut the door and turn that on, and that's keeps me post toasty, for most early mornings and evenings. So that's just a little weather report for Central Illinois. Today we're thinking about our friends in Florida who are awaiting, of which direction the Hurricane Milton will go in, and we hope that, and positive thoughts going out to you, and hoping that you are all safe. In the pretty penny world, it would be one of those things where, as Ryan Hall would say, it become just a fish storm. I don't think that's going to happen. So I hope that you are safe wherever you're at, and minimal amount of disruption. We know that the last one that came through the South really devastated a lot of areas, and so we just can't. I just can't imagine what it's like when I have such nice weather. So our friend from Saturday Night Zoom, if you see this, please reach out and let us know you're okay as well, because we are thinking about you and wondering and making sure that you are all well. So that's kind of the weather report for sure. So this particular episode, I have no real finished objects to tell you about or show you. I am wearing Rocket Tee one more time. I knit this a couple of years ago, right probably during COVID-ish, when we were sitting at the summer of COVID. Let's just put it that way. We were down on the riverfront, and I purchased this. Is I believe it's Knitted Wit. My local yarn shop got in the mohair and the sock yarn to match, and so we were all down there. We were doing Rocket Tees that year, and so mine's a little. I've made it a elbow length sleeve. It's the perfect kind of sweater for the weather we're having right now, and so I might get to wear it just a little bit longer for sure. But if you're interested in the information on my Rocket Tee, it is on my project page, and I am PJ Knits 1 on the project pages. Our group is just plain PJ Knits on Ravelry, so 2 different places. But if you want the information, I'll link down below in the next couple of days in the description box where you can find this one. But that's what I'm wearing today, because I can wear it one more time. I'm getting as much mileage out of my transitional knits sweaters than I can. So I have no finished objects, but today's theme is going to be the woolly wools. And before you turn me off, stay here. I'm looking at you, Amy. And I know you do like woolly wools. I shouldn't call you out or throw the bus at you, because I know you like Holst yarn, which is to me a woolly wool. But I just want to talk about woolly wools during this episode and just kind of give you my kind of sort of my thought plans. But before we get into that, I just want to say a couple of things. First up, The third quarter Mistletoe's winner happens to be Amy. She is Knit Craze Kid on Ravelry, and if you check out her DRK Everyday Sock, post 227. And Amy, you are the winner of Mistletoes for the third quarter of 2024. So if you would pick out a new sock pattern, let me know what it is via wherever, and I will pop it into your Ravelry library. And so the hashtag Mistletoes, or the Mistletoes thread on Ravelry in the PJKnits group, is post your finished socks. And at the end of each quarter, I choose a pattern randomly, a pattern winner for a new sock pattern, and developed that a couple of years ago. And I'm really getting into my sock knitting right now. And so I love seeing everybody's socks that they're doing. I am a cuff down double point, so I never mastered the toe up. So the DRK is not one that I have knit, but please check those out. Check that thread out. And Amy, congratulations. So let's go on to, let's talk about woolly wools in general, and kind of my thought process. And this is, those of you who know me know that, I can go off in a direction, and it's because I'm passionate about knitting. I think I can go off in a direction. All of a sudden, I'm doing haps all year long, and then all of a sudden, with the thought that I would love to travel to Shetland, I want to do woolly wools, and so I shift my focus, not my total focus of knitting, but in the avenue of wanting to, still increase my knitting skills. As long as I've been knitting, there are some things I don't appreciate as much, or I'm not as good at, because I just don't do it enough. And so I want to increase that skill set of knitting other things, of just widening my horizons, or knitting those things that I have admired that other people do, and that I think that I just haven't had the patience for or the time. And you all know that I have plenty of time to knit whatever I want. So it's not a race, for sure. So that's kind of how this kind of sort of developed. Seeing everything on Shetland Wool Week, brought that love of that look and everything, and just wanting to do more and to possibly travel to Shetland in the future, and just, would love to just encompass everything about it. So anyway, that's really the premise and the theme of this. So what I would like to know in the comments below, do you like or do you dislike woolly wools? Do you not knit them? Can you not wear them? EZ said that people developed a wool allergy because from birth they weren't wearing those. Well, my house family was not one of those that would necessarily, we didn't do wool. It was easy peasy, non-expensive clothing, right? So, and I didn't have a mother who knit, so there was never wool in my clothing for anything. But I would love to know if that's something that you like or dislike, and just comment below. And the next episode, we're going to do a giveaway for another Sandy bag in keeping with woolly wools. The Sheepy has this wonderful vinyl bottom, fun inside and pocket. And so this is going to be the giveaway for the next time. Just comment below. Do you like woolly wools? Do you knit with woolly wools, or is it not your thing? And so one of my focuses, and it cannot be for right now, but my focus that I want to have for 2025 is the woolly wools. In addition to my other knitting, I'm not going to just woolly wools or just do Fair Isle, but because I want to learn more. I want to develop that skill of maybe color work a little bit better, a little bit more. I want to love it. I want to love knitting it, not just love other people's knits, if that is a thought. So going forward, it's going to be an ongoing segment here. I like to do little segments here in the podcast, and it's going to be a hashtag PJ Knits the Woolies, or a segment called PJ Knits the Woolies. So that's one of the things that going forward. Now, my real intention is to really delve into this in 2025 because I have so many other things that I want to do right now. And I want to finish the Hap along. Not coffee today. I needed water. It's mid-afternoon and I needed a little something I need to increase my intake of water. So anyway, how this kind of developed is because I love those seeing garments. You know that I've all went to Meg Swanson's knitting camp, and I love the color work that I see that other people have done. I have been following Shetland Wool Week forever, and I don't know that I will ever get there, but at some point in time, I want to get to Shetland in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. I want to get to Shetland in the next couple of years. Either one of those things, like do it or just forget it, right? Because, it's just not going to happen. But I would love to get to Shetland and encompass all of that. So as I was saying, I follow Shetland Wool Week. I have done that for quite a while. They have what they call a Shetland Wool Week annual that comes out that you can pre-order from Shetland, and you pre-order it before Shetland Wool Week. We just finished last week, and then during Wool Week it usually ships and you get it. So I have been doing Shetland the annual, encompassing this since 2015. I have an issue every year, and so it's one of those dream books that I love. I loved, and I'm at the point now where I'm just reading the stories with it right now, but I've looked at all the patterns, and here's what the outside looks like. They always have a list of designers, most of them from that area or delve into that. And so there are several things in here that I'm putting on my list for the 2025. And I just want to share these with you. The photographs are fantastic. The stories I've yet to read because I want to sit down with a cuppa and just do that. But I want to share a couple of these things with you that are on my must knit list. And this first one is by Ella Gordon. It's called the Veger Vest. And I saw a blip of this on Instagram and I was like, I want to knit this. And yes, it will be a little bit more of a challenge than I'm used to. Unfortunately, the yarn's not available. It's a little bit heavier weight of yarn. The yarn itself is Jamieson & Smith 5-ply, which is a sport weight equivalent. And none of the places that I normally would order yarn from have it yet. And so I'm on a wait list or a notify list for the Woolly Thistle when it comes in. But this is one that I am going to work on in 2025. And friend Rosie in Australia, I do believe, is also going to be knitting in this. So we're going to have a little bit of a knit along on this particular vest. I'm choosing these colorways, I believe. Now that's the front. It has buttons on the side, okay? And let's go here. Next. This is what the back looks like. And I'm dying to do that. Here's the buttons on the side. This is the front and the back. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think that that Rosie said that she was going to do this colorway, which I also like that as well. So this is on my list. This is going to be one of those that's going to test. It's going to test my mantra for it for sure. So that one's on my list from the book. And then the other one that I want to do, let's see here. Well, I would love to do this. I'm not even going to try. Scarf. I have some special yarn. And I'm thinking this is by Ella Gordon. And I think I want to knit that out of a Gibbs. Oh, I'm sorry. It's by Betsy Williamson. I want to knit that out of a special yarn that I have in PYS. So that is on my list. Not color work, but yet some lace. And so that one is definitely probably going to happen before. Next one up is this. It's called Volda Lace Panel Top. It's by Linda Shear, and I would love to knit this one. But my problem with this is I want to knit it out of PYS. And I have some yarn that I've had forever. It's Jamieson & Smith. It is 2-ply jumper in a turquoise. This colorway, it's colorway 132. It's called turquoise, and it has been discontinued quite some time. I bought it many years ago. And my problem with that is I have enough in stash to knit this vest, lace top. But if I knit it out of my turquoise, then I have to cut bait on a whip. And I'm leaning towards, at this time, cutting bait on the whip that I'm going to show you in a minute, and knitting, taking this turquoise and knitting this top out of it. I will extend the length on it for sure, but I'm leaning towards that because I love this too, and I could start it fairly right away, right? So I'm kind of torn by that because I also have sufficient in this that was going to be a Hap shawl. Again, this is old stash, PYS 2-ply jumper weight that at Schoolhouse Press at Knitting Camp. There is a Stonington shawl that was made out of this. And so I bought that yarn for it. And so I could, you know, chuck the idea of doing a Stonington out of this, but I'm not so sure that this will show up, the lace on it as much as I want to. So I'm vacillating about that. I'm leaning towards getting rid of the whip that I'm going to show you in a minute out of this, making the vest out of this, and maybe recasting on this with a whip that I have. So that's kind of, I've got a plan. You can see how many just out of this particular annual that I want to do, but another one, not until the Hap shawl gets finished, but I want to knit this Hap. This is, this one is called the Laebrak Hap by Elizabeth Johnston, and I want to do it out of these colors because it's me, right? It's me. I want to do it out of these colors. But I'm not going to order the yarn yet because I haven't finished, right? I haven't finished the Hap that we're doing in the Hap along. But I want to order this yarn in these colorways and do it. This particular one I do believe is done. Yeah, the Hap is a classic Hap is knitted in Shetland. Haps were knitted either by starting with the lace edge and worked inwards toward the center, as in Laebrak, or starting with the center and working outwards. So this one is a lace edge first and then work the final piece. Plus it's also back and forth as opposed to triangular, you know, increase, increase, decrease, decrease. So I want to order this yarn, but I'm holding back. Can you believe that? Can you believe that, people who know me? I'm holding back until I actually finish the one that I've got. So that's, you know, I've got 4 of them earmarked here in the current annual. So you can see why I want to emphasize my side bit knitting next year into woolly wools and using PYS woolly wools, taking advantage of my many Shetland wool weeks. So what I was alluding to a while ago is a whip that I have in progress here that I started probably 2022, right? Here it is in progress of that, on that turquoise yarn. And it's done bottom up, and this might even be a little bit too big for me now. Another reason maybe to, you know, to cut bait on it. But anyway, the intention was to knit this. This is the Henley Fair Isle Yoke. And this is a publication that Schoolhouse Press puts out twice a year. And so I want to knit this, but I'm intrigued by these colorways as well, which is very denim friendly. And so I'm thinking I'm going to cut bait on this and do the lace top out of my turquoise. And then when I get ready, investigate getting the colorways for that. So that's where I'm kind of thinking I'm going that direction, as to cut bait on that and then just cast on, you know, this with that lace top, because it'd make a great vest, woolly vest, right? It'd make a great woolly vest for wintertime to throw over a turtleneck or mock turtle or whatever. So I'm almost 100% leaning towards doing that. So that's, you know, stay tuned as far as that's concerned as to where I go with that. One of the other ones, this is from last year's annual that has been, I have the yarn for this. I ordered it last year when it came out because I wanted to do this particular colorways in something. I thought at the time, I bought a cone of the main color, and I bought I think sufficient to do the sweater out of this, and this main color I bought the cone because I thought, wouldn't that make a really nice hat? And it still may be hat worthy, but I'm kind of toying with this one also for and just doing the sweater. So I have options. And this came, and I'll show you. This is another one by Ella Gordon. This is called the Hatty Yoke. This particular one, let's see if there's a pic on it. It has buttons down the back, and I don't think if I do this that I would do the buttons. I would just make it all around color work. I would not steep that. But anyway, you get a feel for that. And this is her inspiration photo, and I just love the colors in that. So I'm really, especially if I do the other half in the next year or so, I'm leaning towards making this sweater again. So, you know, it's another color work, and as I go, then I should become really happy and proficient, right, with color work. So those are kind of things that I kind of sort of want to do. But then we come full circle back to whips. And I want to share those with you. Those of you who have been around for a while know that in 2 years ago we did a Burra Cowl knit along with as part of the mini meetup at the time, designed by Marie Wallen. And it will be also no surprise to all of you that I still have mine as a whip, but I am bound and determined that this will be finished before I even think about doing any new color work casting on. That's what the deal, right? That's the deal that I made with myself. And you know, from the last episode, I make deals with myself in my knitting. If you do this, then you can do that, or you need to do this on these particular days. And that comes back from my friend Norma, who was an avid crocheter, knitter, cross stitch, sewer, needlepoint. And as she retired, she said, I need more time, and I need a time to devote to all of these crafts. I love them all. And so she would set a day of the week. This is the day I'm going to do needlepoint. This is the day I'm going to do cross stitch. This is the day I'm going to sew. And so I kind of take that deal making from me. You know, I cannot start another color work project until I finish Burra. And so it is my intention to get moving on this as well. And kind of my intention maybe starting in November-ish, maybe before, but doing Fair Isle Friday, which means every Friday I have to do a little bit of Fair Isle and to get this done. And here's mine. I've got to finish it for sure. Now, the thing I'm going to say about this, I'm not going to do the cowl, but I'm going to keep going, and I have sufficient yarn, but I'm going to make this into a scarf. And when I'm done, I'm going to go back and just either sew it together or make some sort of rib at the bottom. But this is going to be a scarf, a nice squishy scarf when I'm done. And so I am anxious to get back at that and get my rhythm going. And it's done out of Jamieson's Shetland Spindrift. I had purchased mine from the Schoolhouse Press initially. So that's whip number 1 in the woolly wools that I really want to finish up. Next up, I've had this for quite some time on the needles, and this is an interesting one. This is Helsinki Sweater by Janine Bages, and I purchased this from Janine many years ago as a kit because I love the colorways and I wanted these exact colorways. And that's when she was doing when she was selling yarn as well. And so I have the colorways for this. Cast it on quite some time ago. And the fun thing about this is another one. This is out of Jamieson's Spindrift as well. Jamieson's Shetland Spindrift. I have my sleeves done. So I'm not on Sleeve Island. This is a bottom up. She has you do the sleeves first. And I've cast on the body itself. So it's done front and then the back, and then you join after a little ways, right, and go up. So I'm on the easy peasy parts with this. So I want to get this done, and wearing this. This is another whip that I want to finish up. Not necessarily before I cast on another one, but I'm hopeful. I want to do that. I would certainly love to get moving on this and be able to wear it this winter. And then the next, I think really the last whip, it is from the Grand Shetland Adventures book, knits book. This is Lucky Lines. And you know what's funny about this one? I know I've cast it on. I can't find it. So I have to go, I've tucked it away in a nice little bag somewhere, so I need to go find it. This one is by Gudrun Johnston. And this is going to be mine. And I'm digressing from the normal Shetland yarn. And I purchased the whole Super Soft in Fountain colorway earlier this year. Earlier this year or Black Friday? Had to have been earlier this year. Anyway, I purchased that, and I know I've got it on the needles. I've swatched and all that stuff, so I need to get back at that. And what I like about this one too is I'm going to do the 3/4 sleeves right above the bracelet. I am going to do that one as well. So I just got to pull that back out, and I got to find it. So you see I have some Shetland wools, some woolly wools, some knitting ahead of me. And so it's kind of like, as I said before, it is my side focus for 2025 is to get some of these whips done and to work more on my color work in anticipation of maybe future travels. You know, the downside and the reason, you know, I can be quite open with you all. The reason it takes me so long, you know, or how I may lose interest in some of this is a thing that it's a lot of stockinette when you're not doing all over color work like the Burra Cowl, the yokes or just in certain spots. It's a lot of stockinette, and it gets boring, right? And for me, I am such a loose knitter that I have to go down to size 2s and 3s to get gauged, and so it's small needles, and it's a lot of knitting, and it's a lot of stockinette, and then, you know, then something, a Squirrel and Easy project will come at me. So a fun fact, issues with me and why I have these projects that are whips or these great intentions as one does. So I just wanted to have a little episode here because I didn't really have a finished object, and I have things that I want to tell you about knitting, to show you winter knitting and other things. We'll be back next time. The next podcast will be, you know, back to the normal segments, and we'll talk about all kinds of things. I'll talk about the Better Than Fiction MCal, Mystery Cal that we're doing with PJKnits, one of her designs, and I'll show you where I'm at on that. We'll talk about that. We'll have a Hap-along progress, and I'll talk about a date in November that we're going to get together on a quick hour Zoom to catch up for those of you who are doing the Haps or just want to see what it's all about. We'll talk about holiday knitting. PJ knits the holidays 2024. I am not knitting any gifts for the late holidays, let's put it that way. I'll give you pig progress. And we'll talk about knitting adventures for 2025 and beyond. I'll start setting up my 2025 knitting journal probably after my birthday in November. I tried to do that now, like mid-November. I'll start setting up my 2025 planning journal and knitting all of that. So I will have some things to share with you. No, I don't think there's any new yarns coming in, but I have. I tried really hard to buy some yarns from the Knitting Loft during their sale a week or so ago, and I came away with, I didn't buy anything because I knew that I had some things that I wanted to knit, and I'm like, I need to finish them, right? I have some socks and all kinds of things to be knitting on. So anyway, thank you for sitting down and joining me this time. We will have our Zoom this Saturday night. I will not be here for this Saturday night, but Marie will be there. So please, if you're a Zoomer on Knitting Zoom, please join her and get together and talk knitting. The following week, I will be back, but 2 weeks after that, I will not be because I have friends, knitting friends coming in, and we'll be together more than likely on that Saturday night. We'll not be Zooming. So this is the period where we have birthdays for families, so I'm in and out like every other week. But thank you, Marie, for always standing in for me. I do appreciate it so much. So you can find me on Instagram under PJ Knits, is where I do a lot of posting. I have a blog, www.pjknits.blogspot.com. I am PJ Knits 1 on Ravelry. Our group is PJ Knits. And I guess that's about everything that I needed to tell you. Until next time, if you are in weather, please be safe and take care. And hopefully you have your knitting by your side to get you through all of that as well. And until the next time, when we meet again, thanks for stopping by, and have a good couple of weeks. We'll talk at you later. Bye.